Hey guys, today we are preparing Nigerian okra soup. My name is Gertrude. You are welcome to Getty's Healthy Kitchen. The first stage is chopping the okra. So we have our freshly washed okra. This is actually frozen. I kept it in the freezer for I think around 2 weeks ago. The okra I had was too much, so I had to keep some in the freezer. I just brought it out. I'm using it now for this okra soup. It's still very fresh. I'm just going to chop it in with my food processor. I'm chopping onions. I have freshly washed vegetable. In Nigeria we call it ugu. I'm adding scotch bonnet, crayfish. Then that's for the first part of this soup. Then later the protein we are cooking it with is we are cooking with fresh catfish. We are cooking with snail. We are cooking with beef and a stock, and that's all for this okra soup recipe. So for in this soup, I'm just adding seasoning cubes and a little salt. I added some salt to the beef stock, so I will not be adding much salt to the soup. So guys, you need to watch your salt intake. Increase in salt intake have been linked to increase in hypertension. So eating healthy, it's all about knowing the right proportion of what you should be taking into your body. And if it's not good for you, you can eliminate or replace with another ingredient or anything you feel is good for you, or better still, you can just leave it out. So for this most of my food, I try to use a little salt, some seasoning cubes, or if the recipe require not using salt at all, then I leave it out. So right now I'll be using my food processor. Yeah, so we have our snail, we have our washed snail. I washed my snail with alum. Then the catfish I washed with warm water and alum. You can use warm water and salt, but trust me, warm water is what is going to take that slimy thing out of this catfish. If you don't like that slimy texture of the catfish, use warm water guys will take it out for you. Use with salt or use with alum. So let's start with the food preparation. I'm using my food processor, my yam pounder. It does a lot for me. I'm going to be using this yam pounder to chop everything about this soup. So this yam pounder, this yam food processor is going to give me that same texture you get when you use your grater, that dry okra texture. That is what you are also going to get with this food processor. But the benefit of using this food processor is that it saves your time. When you use the grater, you spend hours grating okra, but with this it's just less than a minute and you are done with chopping your okra. So I'll be using this food processor also for my vegetable. I use it to chop my vegetable. The good thing about it is that when my baby eats vegetable in lumps, he brings them out and picks them. In fact, most times he will not even agree to eat. But when I chop with the food processor, I discovered that he takes in as much veggies with every feed. So with every feed that he takes in, I'm sure that some vegetables have gone into his system and for his benefit and for his good. So okra is a vegetable, and as such, you should not you should treat it as a vegetable. Some people overcook their okra, while some just cook out. I don't know, they just I don't know, they overboil it or overcook it. I don't know the right word to say. That at the end you are not getting the benefit of the okra. Okra is rich in vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin K. and also it has a lot of antioxidants. It's so good. It's a low calorie soup. So if you are looking to you want to lose weight, you don't want to eat food high in calorie, especially soup, okra is a great soup for you. It's actually a low calorie soup. You can, but the way you cook it also matters. You can actually cook okra that is low calorie, and you not end up making the soup high calorie soup by what you used in cooking the soup. If you are going to cook the soup with high fat palm oil, you are going to cook the soup with high fatty meat or fatty protein stock, you have ruined the low calorie benefit of the soup. You have now made it a high calorie soup. So we are going to be chopping our vegetable. I've put in my vegetable inside the food processor. I will be adding my scotch bonnet. I will also be adding onions, guys. I love the flavor onions gives to okra soup. I'll be adding crayfish, and I will be chopping this in just, in fact, in less than a minute. This step I'm showing you, this way to cook okra soup, you can actually cook your okra soup in less than 15 minutes, let's say around 10 minutes. And the secret to doing this is you must have your stock. Can you see how finely chopped the vegetable is? You must have your stock on ground. If you want to start cooking soup from scratch or cooking stew from scratch, you have to boil it. Those boiling parts of you, those boiling your protein parts, they actually take time. So one of the secrets to my quick cooking is I always cook my meat stock ahead of my food. Like if I'm cooking tomorrow, by today I've already cooked my meat stock and I've kept them. So when I'm cooking, I know that I'm not spending much time in the kitchen. So right now it's time to cook the soup. So I have my pot. Inside my pot, I put in my washed snails. I put in my washed catfish. Then I'll be adding my beef into the pot. Oh my camera, I don't know how to adjust it. It's really, my ring light almost fell into the pot. Oh, so no worry guys, I'll be trying to adjust the camera as we go on. So I am going to be adding my beef. Oh wow, okay, I think it's stable like this. Okay, let's continue. I'll be adding my beef, then adding some stock. Guys, don't forget that this okra, you can plant it in your backyard. You can have a farm, plant okra, plant fresh vegetables around you. You don't really have to go to the market for any little thing you want to do. There was a time I planted okra at my backyard. I really enjoyed it. So plant these things. You can plant ugu, pumpkin. You can plant some green veggies in your backyard. They give you a lot of benefit. So right now I've added my beef, I've added my fish, my snail. I was supposed to add fresh shrimps to this okra, but my people, your sister is tired. No power to devein shrimp, so I just keep that part and use what I have on ground. So if I'd added shrimps, maybe it would have upgraded to seafood okra, right? But since there's no shrimp, there's no crab, so we can just call it okra soup. So after adding those everything, I'll be adding the beef stock. I'll be adding some seasoning cubes, a little salt, then I'll cover, allow to boil before adding my palm oil. So guys, let's be careful with how much salt we take into our system. So I think I've added the seasoning cubes and the salt. I'll cover the pot and allow to boil. Yay! So see, everything is boiling nicely. We are going to be adding our palm oil. Palm oil discussion is another is another subject too. You see, palm oil, your choice of palm oil should matter. What kind of type of palm oil are you taking into your system? Some palm oils are just filled with so much fat. In fact, they are not healthy, so you really have to look for a healthy palm oil. So I will not be I won't I don't know. I can't tell you the brand I use, but I actually use a very good palm oil brand, and I've been using it for years and I like it. So for our palm oil, you need to perceive the aroma coming from this pot, man. In fact, yeah, you need to perceive the aroma. It's really, really, really nice. So I'll be adding my chopped okra in bits. You see, I am not stirring immediately, because that way you can crush your fish in your soup and you'll be left with bones all over. See, the secret to cooking and not crushing your fish is just adding bits like this. Allow the heat to work on them, and they will come up nicely themselves. They will loosen out. Okay, we're losing out the right word now. Okay, so you see, let's say they were losing up. Yeah, they were losing up themselves. So just you see now, you see. So the next thing to do now is to add my vegetable. The secret to not crushing your fish while cooking is use a spatula and stir from the side. You see, I'm not stirring the middle, just from the side. When you do this, you're not going to crush your fish or anything in your soup. Some people, they actually take the fish out, and when they are done, they put it back in the soup. But me, I just like everything, like the aroma, let it everything, let the flavors, let them go into the fish, let it go into everything. By the time you take your fish away and put it back later, the fish might just be tasting like boiled fish. So right now, I'm adding my vegetable, and see, so I'm going to allow everything cook for just 1 to 2 minutes. You see, the secret to maximizing the nutritional benefit of foods you cook is not to overcook them. You should be cooking your okra and your vegetable at the same time, and they get cooked at the same time. When you overcook your okra, because okra is a vegetable, when you overcook it and later you now add your vegetable, your pumpkin and all that, you in fact, the benefit of the soup, you can no longer get it. You are just eating soup for pleasure's sake. But right now, everything gets cooked together. You are eating your soup, you are getting your benefits. So guys, subscribe, like our video, and tell us if you'll be trying this recipe. Thank you for watching. Bye.